be normal. All this violence is just hormonal. Those marks on your arms are only scratches. Why must you make yourself so unattractive? Look at you wasting away. Music. What's that bloody rauch? Call that music. Mama is my song and I might lose it. Holy ugly noise is what I call it. To me it's everything I ever dreamed of. I won't turn it down and be a good boy now. Won't you look at me wasting away? Wasting, say I'm wasting. I'm there facing it out on my own. When will it end? When will you wake up and understand? I'm a good boy now. Look at me, look at you. Look at you. Why me? Why won't it stop? I don't know. Are there any clues? Clues. A few years ago, a woman from the Daily Mail phoned to inform me they were doing a piece on Sir John Betjeman and they would like me to companion him in the article. I, being representative of the younger English eccentric, she wanted to know if I was still doing it. Well, I don't do it. I'm merely myself as near as damn it without frightening the housing estates. And her question was absurd rather than fatuous, as it suggests deliberation. It's rather as though you woke up and decided, I'm going to be a Ghanaian today, or I'm going to be a giant squid for the weekend, or that's it, or I'm going to be a wardrobe for the rest of my word. Well, strap me to a tree and call me Brenda. I'm whatever you like, just don't expect me to join in. I do like games, though. You see, I'm not different for the sake of being different. Only for the desperate sake of being myself. I can't join your gang. You'd think I was a phony, and I'd know it. So, but my father would rather. I'm right on the edge now, bursting my banks. Heard enough. End of my tether. If I've told you once, slipping my moorings, I'm a reasonable man. Don't answer back when I've asked you something. You're really pushing it, aren't you? Don't think you're too big. Wipe that grin off your face. Who do you think you are? The big I am? I wash my hands of you. I'm telling you this for your own good. The answer is no, no, no. I thought my name was No, the man with no name. Normal people are called Shut Up, as I'm sure you know. 2, 3, 4. If you had the wit to realize what you could do with your potential, if you had the wit to realize you could be like me, you could be a barrister, a surgeon, pontiff, or a politician. Yet you choose to be a parasite embarrassment to me. You horrid little shit, I gave you life. Is this the way that you repay me? Oh yes, indeed, you'll rule the day. Don't say I didn't tell you so. If he had the wit to realize what he could do with his potential, only you would try, I'd swell with pride, 'cause you would be like me. The first 2 years of my childhood were wonderful. Just me and Mum and me and my voices, evacuated from the East End to Shillingford, Oxfordshire. Idyllic. And I remember everything. Bombs whumping and deranged cows budging into the kitchen and Mum shushing them out with a broom. I was freakishly precocious. First words at 4 months, and I could have a conversation with you at 10 months, and that's pretty scary. And I was running. I had to be strapped into my pram. I can still smell that pram and feel the sticky blue leatherette of it. I hated it, that tugging. At the bottom of the garden, the long garden, the Thames with paddle boats, and sardined they were with dancing, battle-happy on-leave soldiers and their girls, dancing and laughing and shouting back to me, on the music, this sort of stuff. Let a great big friend be your insurance. Take out the Teehee policy today. Just grin, 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 misfortune flies away, and Mr. Opportunity takes off his hat to say, keep on smiling, the pirates are paved with gold. Your father grinned on the dotted line, and out the barrels rolled. Let a great big grin be your insurance. Got the Teehee policy today. Now Mrs. Grimm lives down our street, and a grin would crack her face. She disapproves of everything about the human race. She never has a spot of fun, even wears her hair in a hot cross bun, which they drop her on the Hun, so the boys can all come home. sadly for me, when the boys did come home, they included my demobbed father, who'd now got it into his novel that he was officer class. And by the time we moved back to Walthamstow E17, he spoke like this: "Hello!" So on the streets I'm speaking like this, otherwise I'm definitely going to get me head bashed in, whilst at home it's all, "What ho, Mama? Hello, Papa, and shall there be buns for tea?" Officer class, he determined to be a chartered accountant, and to this end he polished his shoes so shiny that when you looked down you could see all the way up to his suspenders, or upskirts if you fancied it. And then he covered the shoes with protective rubber galoshes, and with bowler hat rammed tight and brolly grasped, he would every morning roller skate from Walthamstow to the city. It was thus explained to me, and with the utmost solemnity, that common as I was with polished boots and accent, it was possible to roller skate right to the top of and out of your tree. The self-made man formula manifest. My father was quite normal. I quickly learned to roller skate and to go bald. I was downright terrified of my father, and I still am, and he's been dead for more than a year. Everything I did was a disappointment, and everything I didn't do, sport, maths and so on, was unnatural because he could do it. And when it became clear to him that I was incorrigibly to become one of them, that is to say an artist of some sort, he disowned me. He even refused to hold my hand after the age of 5. It was the beginning of the beginning. Not surprisingly, I became quite a geezer. Oh, the ginger geezer. Oh, did he see ya? When I locked him in the phone. Spruced up in me piccolo, me tipsy and me daisies, bowling down a rubber with a cherry chine, a fine old rolled an oily rain, me cherry bread and cheese. You won't let up, see some geezer. A newly ginger geezer, a geezer with a hoot to rise upon. I really had to rabbit at home to this geezer. Anti-ice cream freezer, ginger geezer sees you around. Back in the old days, tramp and hurdy-gurdy, Mr. Slater plays a solo on his bass saxophone. I do remember persuading my mother to persuade my father to allow me to have a duffel coat. And on the first day of wearing it in the street, a little boy crowed to his mum, "Look at that man," and she replied, "Don't look at him, he's a crank." My fringe was licked and secured with a hair clip. I was wearing my school tie. My mum explained to me, cranks, we don't know any of them, and moreover, they're common. I was 13. I then tried to be a teddy boy, hiding my draped jacket and drain pipes behind the coal bunker. The posh accent, which had literally been bashed into me, kept leaking out, so in that particular gang, I was tolerated as an amusing mascot. My mum taught me to knit and crochet when I was tiny, and teddy boys don't knit. Meanwhile, my father spent the last 20 years of his life vigorously watching television.
Growing up to be like Dad, death-defying times ahead, retelling stories old of days when Dad was older, younger. Now he sits and has every comfort and sits with a washable cover. But it worries him that his life has gone by. Cheerio. So he says to his son, I don't want to, I don't hate to. I've retired, you see, me. But it worries me. How can I convey you might turn out to be? Possibly an armchair like me.
But alternatively,
a fresh-faced boy in navy blue, shaven and shorn with shiny shoes, 2 O-levels, 5'8", the ideal young novitiate. Oh, the morning run is lots of fun, especially if it's raining. We look real sports in our knee-length shorts, it's all part of the training. There's badges written, lots of swanky and bromide tea to stop you thinking about anything at all. I don't want to, I'm not paid to. I've retired, you see, me. But it worries me. How can I convey you might turn out to be? Possibly an armchair like me. Possibly an armchair like me.
about this time I became disaffected with the Roman Church. It wasn't so much being slapped round the chops at communion, me, 14 and naughty, kneeling at the altar rail, and Canon Bishop, a fierce Irishman, his head carved from the beetroot, bearing down, dispensing the host, catches me having a crafty butcher's at the other communicants, eyes closed, tongues lolling out, and I can't keep a straight face. So in the in nomine patris et filii, I copped the spiritus sancti right round the mooey, went back to my pew like this. And my mum thinks, bedad, the boy has the state of grace in him. And it was the translating of the Mass into English so as you could understand it. I confessed to my mum that I now didn't understand it at all. Without the hallucinatory mumbo-jumbo, it became for me at best vulgar and far too dull for my kidney. I like my steak heretic and bloody.
He's walking on the water, spreading his light. He raises up a dead man, makes him feel alright. I can see him waiting, spreading his light all around. When your ship is sinking, he's the bung in your punt. If you can't find your keyhole, hooray for Holman Hunt. He even works at weekends, he is never out to lunch. He is spreading his light all around. In the night he made of poplin, spreading his light. The shepherd plays Scott Joplin all through the night, squeezing on his organ, spreading his light, and clinging to his old rugged cross. Get that good man's haircut, spreading his light. All you can say is there, but for the grace of God go I can see him waiting for you to say goodbye, spreading his light all around.
From the squeezable age of 3 till I went to art school and sipped of the mad, generous grape of classless meritocracy, even yobbos can sculpt, I can recall almost nothing. The most of it, for horror, has been quite blanked out, save that I was improper, unfit, and a sissy, but rather curiously clever, so I was doing it deliberately and was therefore a shocking waste. My biological childhood wasn't so much bad as bewildering, and I got through it not so much courageously, but rather hopelessly, innocently burdened with the ineluctable conviction that I was destined to be an artist, and I really couldn't help that. Shocking waste or not, the trials and the astonishments did provide the stuff from which I fashioned my work. So the childish things I had then to do in secret, I now do in public.
What the hell am I doing this for? What the hell am I doing this for? 'Cause I'd rather cut my hands than I'd let a stranger play my lead guitar. I'd rather cut my hands than I'd let a stranger play my upright piano. I'd rather cut my hands than I'd let a stranger blow my saxophone. Sometimes I get so weak-willed and crazy, frustrated and angry, so wired up and weird and so lonely, 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 so lonely. I let a complete stranger play around with me. When I know that a quickie will come to a sticky end.
Still a bonzo after all these years, Viv Stanshall, whose first British tour for 21 years starts on December the 5th.